She said, I'm bleeding. I see you're bleeding.
Karon Williams' cousin, Lowry Baltrip, was the only person inside this Cliff Avenue house the morning Williams was shot in January of 2017. She spoke to CBS 6 shortly after the murder.
We don't know who this was. They think it's just a random thing.
While she didn't get a good look at the suspects, detectives say Baltrip's recollection was crucial to helping them piece together what happened. But she unexpectedly died of natural causes the very next month, which caused the investigation to stall.
She was the only one there with Miss Williams at the time of the incident. We don't have any more leads at this point.
But while Baltrip's death was a setback, Fultz says the investigation had already convinced him of something. Karon Williams' murder was likely a case of mistaken identity.
It could be the person was aggravated, they couldn't get in the house, or it could be that they're at the wrong house.
Whether you're standing out front or in the alley that runs behind them, you'll notice that Karon Williams' home and the house next door look identical. And investigators believe that around the time of the murder, there was drug dealing happening at the other house.
I think it was meant for that home and
what was going on.
Right,
there.
and some of the things that were taking place, and they come to Karon. Of course, poor Karon pays the price.
But in another blow to the investigation, the young woman who had been living in the house next door died of an overdose in March of 2017. Fultz doesn't believe she or her family had anything to do with the Williams murder, but says a man she had been living with may have been the intended target. How much has the passage of time hurt the chances of catching the killer? TV crime shows will lead you to believe that cases not solved in the first 48 hours are nearly impossible to crack. But Detective Fultz says in his 18 years working homicide, he's learned one thing. Not every cold case follows the same timetable.
You can still end up solving a case 6 months later, a year later with the right evidence. You know, some good circumstances, some good witnesses show up. You start to be more concerned the more time goes on, and the family definitely does. Mostly they want to know what happened to their loved one. Why would someone come and do this?
Fultz believes that someone in this neighborhood has crucial information about what happened to Karon Williams. But even if this renewed plea leads to an arrest or a confession, friends say that won't completely heal the pain of losing a woman whose kindness, big heart, and smile were always on display in a neighborhood where she spent her entire life.
Every time I look over there, it's like she's supposed to be there, and I know she's not coming back.
Detective Fultz says forensics did pull a boot print off the door next to Karon Williams' bedroom window, but at this stage of the investigation, it's not really any help. Williams' friends say they hope the killer has a conscience and comes forward so that the family hit with so many tragedies can have just a little bit of peace. Working for you in Brooklyn Park, John Burkett, CBS 6 News.